here we are at the reviewing area, and here we have my custom made and custom painted Wolverine action figure from X-Men Evolution.
Now, I will say on Colton's behalf, I seen what this Wolverine looked like, and it didn't look anything like this. And he's gonna go off. It took two figures to make this one, and I remember seeing as it progressed slowly but surely, because he would show me every other day or every day what he did to update everything and how it's progressing. And I have to say, I know what it looked like before compared to what it is now. He did a phenomenal job, really, if you think about it. But I'm going to let him go into the details, because pretty much everything that you see on this guy, he crafted himself, from the arms, and I know that's crazy, to the legs, to even to the head.
Yes.
So I'm gonna just back out and let him do a bunch of talking now. So here we go.
Okay, so what I did here, this is from 2 Wolverine figures. The first one was from the full body here was from the CT Toys Wolverine figure, and here's the box here, that the full figure that you see here, except for a couple of modifications that I did here, is from. Like the body, the arms, and the thighs, and the head are all from this figure. The chest, the arms, the thighs, and the head is all from this figure here. The CT Toys Wolverine. And as you can see in here, there is still some parts that's rattling around in there, which I will open up out of this box to show you what I did. But a quick look at the box here. And here's the back here. So that's the first figure, which is basically the full body here that you see here. Now, the second figure, the second Wolverine figure, was from the Wolverine from the 2000s, the same year that the show came out, X-Men Evolution, was by, for what I remember, is Toy Biz. Yes. Where they, at that time, they did made action figures, but they were kind of limited in articulation at the time, from the 2000s. And some of these parts here, like the legs here, these like belt things on his arms and these black things here on his belt are from the one of those Toy Biz Wolverine figures, and it's the one that has a motorcycle with it. And I do still have some parts from that Toy Biz one, and to kind of show y'all, it is kind of a laugh, right?
Yeah, just show 'em. It's alright, just show 'em.
To show y'all what I'm talking about, here's what's left of that Toy Biz Wolverine from the motorcycle pose. Well, or the one that came with the motorcycle is what I meant. And here's the body here. And what I did for this Wolverine from Toy Biz was I removed the legs from this and put it on this figure. And also what I did is I drilled some holes from here and at the feet here, and I put the joint pegs in, and these joint pegs where there's two pegs and a joint on it is from the CT Toys Wolverine. And for the knees here from this here, I drilled some holes here to slide in these pegs from the joints. So now it looks like he has a new like knee joint. And I moved it, and yeah, it's now like a new fully functional knee joint he has. And he has new articulation on his feet here. And now, what I also did is these belt strap things on his arms, on both sides. These things here, I took these from the same Toy Biz figure, and I removed his arms completely off. Well, the elbows here, and I cut out those belt straps that was on his arms, and I glued them onto this figure here on both sides. Now for the belt, what I did, these black things here on the sides were from the Toy Biz version, and where they came from was from one of his claws here, which are, as you can see, a rubbery material. And what I did to have these black things on the sides of his belt is I snipped off these claws, not the middle one, and I snipped off a tiny bit off the tip here. And I put some super glue on them to super glue them on the belt, and that's how I did it. Because in the show, he did had these black things on the sides of his belt. And show you on the Toy Biz, yeah, you could see these black things on the sides of his belt. I replicate that there.
In the belt buckle?
On the belt buckle. Those black things on the sides of his belt.
Yes.
There.
The belt buckle. Did you do anything with the belt buckle? Yeah.
Oh, that X there.
Yeah.
That's painted.
Okay.
And now for the head. Now, the head here. This head is from the CT Toys Wolverine, but I was still wanting to use the one from Toy Biz, which I still have here. You can see here. So, I was trying to like figure out a way of how to attach this onto this body here. Mm-hmm. And I did drill a hole here, and I put it on the ball joint, and it looked fine. Well, it looked fine for...
It looked fine from a distance, but when you got close up, it didn't look fine anymore. There was something about the spacing and the gap was too much.
Yeah.
And
because his neck here on the CT Toys version is not like short enough. It's a bit too long.
Yes. So we had to make a decision, and Colton had to make a decision on exactly what he wanted to do and how he wanted to do it, because, I mean, it looked out of proportion. It didn't look right. It didn't look natural.
Because the head for this Toy Biz that's attached to this was... The neck was way too long and looked kind of funny.
So...
And I know that there is another way to do it, and you would have to kind of like... Well, I would have kind of had to gut out the back of his neck to make it look like it's good-ish.
To make it look natural, but the problem with that was still it wasn't going to work. So Colton had to make a decision of how he wanted to go about it, and he figured out a way.
Because if I didn't gut out the back of his neck, because if I do that, then I would no longer attach this head onto this figure. So, how did I figure out a way of the CT Toys version? Well, I'm gonna bring the box over for the CT Toys version, and I am gonna go ahead and open up this box to show y'all. And to show y'all, here's what's left of the CT Toys Wolverine. So I am going to have to open this up real quick. Okay, so for the head, now this Wolverine, for the CT Toys Wolverine, which the body is from, came with 3 alternate heads. The one that you see here is just the standard serious look, but the one that I had on was the like smile or smirk one.
Let me see. Yeah. Yeah, you could say that.
So what I tried to do for the fin things, which are these here that the CT Toys is from, I did trim down. I cut off and trimmed down what I can to give his fin things that curved look like you see here. And it looks fine for what I did. Not entirely accurate, but I pretty much did what I could. But then, oh, and the third alternate head that he comes with is the unmasked one, with just the Logan head here. But then I found out that this CT Toys Wolverine came with an unmasked mask, which is this. And as you can see, he doesn't have those little fin things on the sides. Because I cut them off to glue on this alternate headpiece that the CT Toys comes with. Because this unmasked, where you can recreate like it's hanging from his back like he just took it off of him, does have those curved shape fin things. And bringing the Toy Biz here, this is what I was talking about. So I removed them and put it on the alternate headpiece, and now that looks a lot better. You could see here that this is what I was recreating here. So now that looks a whole lot better.
And I'm not lying, he showed me every other day or every day how this was coming along. So yes, I pretty much watch him every day build this. From where he was at to where it was to ready to paint. So I was like, okay, Colton, that's, I'm getting in, and Colton's all excited, and he's like, look at the next transformation that I'm doing now. I was like, okay, that's good, and this is the final result from the gluing to the sculpting to the drilling to the pegging to the painting to the finish coat to here we are now.
Yes.
And it didn't take him that long to do it. Once he got both of these, it took him about, I think, 2 weeks?
Probably that.
I think about 2 weeks. Yeah.
And giving y'all a little 360 here. And yes, from what y'all saw, the joints on the ankles are kind of loose, but I am gonna be very careful Well, yeah, see, I am gonna be very careful. But the CT Toys Wolverine thankfully does come with another accessory, which I will get to in a minute. So after I did all the modifications, I painted him all up and top coated him with flat coat paint, so the paint could stay protected. And here he is, my my very own custom painted Wolverine from X-Men Evolution, which is fully posable. And the reason why I said fully posable for this that I made is because the X-Men Evolution toys that we've had from the 2000s, they weren't bad, but they were definitely limited in articulation. Like the regular action figures from the 2000s, they you have a lot of playability at the upper body, but not so much on the lower body. Like the knees can bend and the feet can move, and the legs do move forward and back, but they don't move in and out like this one does, along with the rest of the articulation that you will see. And another reason why I wanted my own action figure of Wolverine from X-Men Evolution that I painted here is because now I will have to say this to y'all. I don't know too much about Marvel and DC like I know a lot about Transformers. In other words, I know a tiny bit of
He knows a tiny bit of X-Men.
Well, yes.
And Marvel. Because the universe is so big with Marvel. He knows only a couple characters, but his main one that he knows the most is Wolverine.
So I know a whole lot about Transformers and not so much Marvel. But the reason why I did this is because his character development, along with the other characters from X-Men Evolutions, from what I heard, is...
And what you've seen. And what you've seen.
And what I've seen is really good and also interesting.
Yes, he's saying that Logan in X-Men Evolution kind of takes the role of a superior teacher for the rest of them. A leader to show them how to use their powers, when to use their powers. He was kind of a role model for the teenagers to look up to and learn from.
And also, another... A change that they did with Wolverine from X-Men Evolution, or Logan, that they got rid of, that a lot of the other past X-Men series has, is Logan or Wolverine is not in a love relationship with Jean. Because I don't know if you remember, Dad, but from what I heard, Logan or Wolverine is always in a love with Gene.
Yeah. Well,
Have you heard of that?
Oh yeah. I know about it. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, X-Men Evolution was a standalone cartoon. It's still in the same universe with the rest of them, but it was kind of a oddball, more interesting kind of, if you want to look at it as a teenager perspective, looking at everything. And I think that's what some of the things that made X-Men Evolution unique, because it had its own teenager upgrowing spin on that part of the series.
And you have you like not heard a lot of good things about that love with Wolverine and Jean? Because I kind of did.
Well, it's something, that's Cyclops, Jean Grey, Wolverine. I mean, they got their own, that was their own deal. So here in X-Men Evolution, from what I gathered, what I remember, and what I've seen a little bit of it, I have not watched the whole thing, but from what I've seen, Wolverine was the upper teacher to teach the teenagers how to work as a team.
Yes.
What team is all about. I believe now some of this is coming back to me. He was the go-to to get answers from, if you wanted it, from him. And he was, in X-Men Evolution, he was different. He was different than like the X-Men that come out in the 1990s. It was just a different type of Logan in that part of the X-Men.
Yes. And also they got rid of that Wolverine and Jean relationship thing.
Like I said, not to say he didn't tie into it with people from Evolution, because he did. It was just a different spin of Logan than what we was used to seeing.
And I didn't really get a closer look at the paint job, but here's a closer look at the paint job here. Also, this CT Toys Wolverine. Now, Logan from X-Men Evolution, he did had some hair on him, like facial hair on him, but not a lot of facial hair, just a little bit from the X-Men Evolution show, and that's only on his face here, and he did not had any hair on his arms from the Evolution show. But this CT Toys version, this one here, did had some hair on his arms, but as you can see, I painted over it with some tan paint to cover it all up, because in the X-Men Evolution show, he did have some facial hair on him, but only on his face, not on his arms, from what I seen, and nowhere else on his body, from what I remember, just on his face.
I think if you put it in perspective, I think that this is the Wolverine Colton mostly loves.
Yes.
I think,
Because of his character development from X-Men Evolution.
Okay. It's like I said, it was a different Wolverine because before X-Men Evolution, there was the X-Men in 1990s.
Yes.
And he was totally different back then.
But here in Evolution, he's like the teacher of the young people.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the back here. Now, the, like I said, this is fully posable, but now I did not painted the joints, which is good, which means I can now move this figure around, but I can't move it around too much because if I do, it's gonna scratch up or chip off my paint job. So I am gonna try and show what I can.
As far as articulation, or
for articulation.
Okay.
So the head is on a ball joint, and the base of the neck is on a ball joint, which well, yeah, the base of the neck is on a ball joint, but I'm not gonna move it. And the arms are on ball joints, so they can rotate all the way around and move in and out. And this part is a separate joint. Yep, you can see there. It's a separate joint as well, and it can move. And he does have bicep swivel. He has double jointed elbows. And the hands do have a hinge joint here, can swivel here, and it can also swivel. Yeah, you can see here. It can also swivel there. So it has two swivel joints and a hinge joint. He does have a ball joint at the torso, but I'm not gonna, well, I guess I won't. Okay, yeah, there we go. You can see it moving. And yeah, you can kind of see the yellow here peeking through. Which you're not really gonna see it a lot because it does cover it up. You can kind of see a tiny bit of it there, but when you look at the whole figure, you're not really gonna see it. But he does have a ball joint at the waist itself here, which yeah. And he does have ball joints at the legs. Which on mine, the ball joints on the legs on mine are really kind of tight. Not from the paint, just from the original action figure here, the CT Toys version. And he does have thigh swivel. And he does have double jointed knees. This knee joint I can move just fine. This one, y'all can kind of see, is starting to chip off my paint job. You can, because you can see the yellow here peeking through a tiny bit. But it does have double jointed knees. And the feet, from what I already showed y'all, because since these are new knees, And new feet, they can move up and down and have a ankle pivot here. And they can also swivel here at the peg on the top. And that is it. So everything is fully posable. I just can't move it around too much because it'll chip off my paint job that I did. Oh, and y'all may have already saw, but I did do some silver paint on these things as well, which is where the claws would come out. And this figure doesn't, well, being that this is from the CT Toys version, minus some modifications like the legs, the things on his arms, and those black things on his belt. But being this is from the CT Toys version of Wolverine, he does come with some accessories. Not a lot, just a few. And he does have interchangeable hands. The ones that he has on him are the open hands, like the more relaxed hands. You can see here. But he does come with some closed fists, which again I have painted here. Orange with the silver here. And he does come with some other interchangeable fist hands with the claws here that I have painted silver here. And so swapping the hands is really easy. Just remove that and put that in. And there you go. And I'll go ahead and get the other one in. Of course. Because he can't be Wolverine without his claws. And there he is with his claws. And the last accessory, I think, yes. And the last accessory that the CT Toys Wolverine comes with is this included stand, which I will definitely display my custom Wolverine that I made with this stand here. And as you can see, there's multiple holes here that you can attach the arm here into either one of these holes. And the arm has a hinge joint here, here, and here, and it does rotate here, and the pinchers do open and close. And you can clamp Wolverine onto the stand. I will do that when we get to our final thoughts here.
Colton, I have to say, like I said, you did a phenomenal job. You took two toys, you saw what you needed to do to engineer it, to put it together, and then you problem solved in a bunch of areas.
Yes, because
All I say is, I'm proud of you.
yes, because I wanted this Wolverine figure from X-Men Evolution that I remember as a fully posable action figure. Because, like I said, the toys from the 2000s, they weren't bad, but they were limited in articulation from the time.
Compared to what we have now. And I understand that. And I'm just saying that you saw what needed to be done. And like I said, I seen this guy every other day. Because Colton would show it to me every other day. Or if not, one time a day before. I mean, it was like... But anyway, that's not bad. He was proud of the progression that he was making on him. And then Colton said he's done. And then finally, about 2 weeks later, he walks in there and he shows me and his mom. And he says, this is what I did. And I was like, I was impressed. I was like, very good. I was like, very good. As far as the head, like he said, the head, these fins weren't on his head. He had to put them on there. He had to glue them, put them on there, and then had to paint them and color them in.
To match the one from the show that I remember. Like here on the Toy Biz one.
Right. So there was a bunch of things that he had to do, and I remember him getting the paint in, and he says, I'm going to go paint. And I was like, okay, just don't make a mess. And out there in the barn. And so all I say is, yeah, I'm proud of you. You found out what it took and takes to put it together, and you took two pieces, and that sounds more like a grandpa right there. Your grandpa was an amazing architect. He could take two pieces that wasn't working, he could put them together and make them work. Anyway, neither here or there. You did a good job. You found a solution and you made it happen, and that's very good.
And now, I do have something else to say.
Yes.
But that would be for the final thoughts when we get this figure on the Whirly Bird.
Okay.
Okay, stay tuned for the final thoughts.